the roster?
No updates. I mean, the same. It's Cheech. Martin, Memo's on return to play, so he's really close. But I think that's it off the top of my head.
Trip to the Rose Bowl is finally here. What sort of memories do you have of that place? Good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, mostly good. I mean, my first 6 years when we played there, certainly won a lot more games than we lost. The crowd was amazing. The excitement, really, of the first year was just off the charts. You know, those of us who were coming out of college, for myself, just drafted, hadn't really professional soccer as we knew it. My age group hadn't really hit in the U.S. And the first game we drove up to the Rose Bowl against New York, it was just the crowd, the amount of people who met the bus on the way in, and then the amount of people who just kept arriving to the stadium over the course of the game was just so impressive and never forget. I think it ended up at over 60, and I think they had to shut it down just purely because they didn't have enough security and they weren't expecting so many people. And so, and just the excitement of that first year that the league was here and the players that had come in, and to think how far it's come, you know, since that first game is really amazing. So yeah, I mean, for me, there's a lot of really positive moments. I mean, we trained right outside the Rose Bowl in the parking lot, and we would all get in a line together, and we would walk across the grass and pick up the glass and anything that was there from the the tailgating from the week before, or whatever, so that we could train. And they would draw out a field with chalk, and that was our training facility. And again, to think of where we are now in this facility and how far the game has come in a short period of time, but we were all about it. Didn't matter what it looked like or how. We were so excited to be playing professional soccer in our country. It was amazing.
Did that first year? How did those crowds sort of play out the rest of the year? I mean, of course, it wasn't 65,000 every game.
No, but they stuck pretty good. I mean, we started that season at 12-0, and so we got off to a really good start. And so I think that kept the excitement of the crowd. We have Campos, so a lot of the Mexican fans were into Campos, and Cienfuegos, so El Salvadoran fans kept coming because he was the guy. And I think again the team was successful. So it stayed high. I mean, I would say probably finished between 20 and 30 on average, which okay is not in a 100,000 seat or 90,000 seat stadium doesn't look like a ton, but I would say we're probably actually averaged above that over the success. There was also the 4th of July game, much like this one, where there was a ton of fans, and then we played a back-to-back with the national team against Mexico, in which there was like 80,000 that year too, so 80 or 90,000. So there were a lot of big moments in that first year in that stadium, and many to follow after.
Greg, just the importance of this game. 5 games have been, 4 of those have been draws. How important is it to get 3 points in this game?
Yeah, they're all important. 3 points are important because we don't have the luxury of being in the best position in the standings, and so every point for us matters. And trying to grab 3 at every possible occasion. You know, in general, there's some we're pleased a bit that the last 5 are unbeaten. We probably feel like we should have picked up a few more points. 4 of those were on the road, 1 at home, and so it's not also been the easiest stretch just in terms of challenges to build momentum, but the guys have certainly shown resilience. We've shown some good moments of football inside of that. So from that perspective, we found a solid foundation, and now it's doing the little things inside of the game to win the game, you know. And we were up on 2 occasions in the last game, and trying to be able to close that game out and take 3 points. You know, some obviously unfortunate incidents late that didn't go in our favor. Let's just leave it at that. And you know, so all those things matter. But right now, points matter for us because we're getting down to the second half of the season, and we've got to start climbing up the table. So you know, with every game, we're looking for 3 points, but you have to play the 90 minutes as the 90 minutes, one minute at a time, one play at a time, and just give yourself the best chance at the end to be on top and win the game.
I want to know if you could talk about Preston a bit, kind of his progression from being a MLS draft pick to now he's currently the leading scorer in league play for you guys.
Yeah, again, Preston is Preston. He's more of a battering ram than he is a finesse. You know, he's kind of that old school traditional like English forward who just beats the crap out of center backs, and he's powerful and he's hard to deal with. There's not a ton of nuance in his game, but the second you try to get physical or inside, you just realize really how strong he is. And then when you get tight, you realize he's actually quite fast. And so, you know, he has his set of skills that make him difficult to defend. And he has a bit of a one-track mind, which is getting himself in front of goal and getting himself opportunities to score. And so, he's learning a little bit of the details inside of the game, that when to present himself to the group as a link-up player versus maybe stretching. He's learning, again, some of the defensive responsibilities, the things that you do over the course of 90 minutes that help keep the control of the game and help to keep the team together. Those are things that he's continuing to learn, but his desire to score and the skill set that he has makes him a difficult player to defend, over 90 minutes. And so he means every game that he's played, he's gotten his chances, and then it's a question of finishing. He can develop more nuance in his finishing, left foot, right foot, different types of finishes. But these are all things that he'll continue to grow in his development.
What does it mean for the group to have so many eyes on this game? I mean, 80,000 plus for this game here, when it's normally 20, 25.
Sure.
Whatever, so.
I think it gets everybody's attention in a slightly different way. Like if there was a moment in a game where you thought you were going to disappear for a second because of something else, when you have 80,000 people and the energy in that type of stadium is around you, I think it immediately brings your attention focus back into the field and your moment and what you need to be thinking. It comes with the sense of something much bigger than maybe just a normal match day, and so. If you have any pulse at all, it should require your full and utmost concentration at all times. For some guys, there may be a situation where managing nerves because it feels bigger, the occasion feels bigger. I don't know, that could be it, just the overwhelming nature of having, close to 90,000 people. But I think our guys are excited based on, where I felt the energy today. I felt an invigoration to go out and to play this game. And so I think they're in a good spot.
Get an update on Eric? Have you heard anything about Eric?
He nothing definitive because he's feeling better, so we don't see it as anything serious. He hasn't been able to actually get an MRI to see the exact extent. I don't think they're anticipating playing him this weekend, but there's a question for all of us as to could he be ready for next weekend if he were to come back, or for them in the next match if they were to push forward. So I don't think it doesn't seem long term because it seems like he's feeling better with each day.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time,
Okay.
Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Appreciate it.